Hello, everyone, and welcome to my next review for The Woman Who Lived. Yes, I'm doing this episode now. So, what did I think of this? Was this an improvement over last week's episode? Yes, it was an improvement, but not by much. Now, this episode was written by a Torchwood writer, Catherine, and I cannot pronounce the last name, so I'm not even going to try. Sorry about that, but she wrote some of my favorite episodes from Torchwood. Our Time, Meet, Adam, Captain Jack Harkness, great episodes. So when I found out she was going to write for Doctor, I thought, yes, this is great news. What kind of episode will she write this time? And it was good. It was good. Not great, but good. Her Torchwood episodes are better, but this episode did have some great moments. Now, this episode is a companion light episode, and so Clara is not in this until the end. So, we go to the 1700s, where a highwayman is attacking a couple on the way back to the house. And this highwayman is after the Eye of Hades. And the highwayman tries to rob these people, but then the doctor arrives and tries to steal the Eye of Hades too. And the highwayman and the doctor are fighting over who's going to steal the Eye of Hades. Then the couple just leave, and it's just so fun. And we find out that the highwayman is a shielder who is about 800, 600 years into immortality, in being an immortal. And we see that scene from the season 9 trailer that got a lot of people to say, is she Susan? No, she's Jenny. And that's a scene in this episode. So yeah, so a shielder who's now going by me, I know. Yes, it makes sense. Like, she says that she forgot her name and she has been living a long time. Like, you can live for a long time and you can become an expert in anything, and you cannot retain all the knowledge you learn. And I like how she forgets about the village she came from and who she once was. And that makes sense because you can't remember everything that you do in your life. And being immortal cannot be easy, so you will forget some of the stuff. I like how she takes the doctor back to her place, and she has all these books of her life, how she was a queen once, how she fought in a war, and I like the scene when the doctor's going through one, and some pages are missing because those are the most terrible parts of her life, and she doesn't want to remember them. But I also think Maisie Williams does a much better performance than last week's episode. And you see the scene when the doctor is reading about her time in the Black Death, how she lost her children, how they died, and the scene when she's just breaking down uncontrollably, and she cannot stop. That's some great acting by Maisie Williams. And how Maisie Williams, Ashirda / Lady Me, tells the doctor that he was responsible for this, that she didn't ever want to become immortal, that she just wants to skip all the boring stuff and just want to travel with the doctor, and how he responds by saying, no, you cannot travel with me. This won't be a good thing if we travel together. This will only lead to bad things, is his response. And I like that, because you have Peter Capaldi trying to tell this one person who knows how it feels to be like him, who loses everyone she cares about, just like how the doctor loses everyone he cares about. Now, I just want to say, a shielder is a lot like Captain Jack, because she's immortal, she loses everyone that she cares about. It just seems like they are too lazy to bring back Captain Jack Harkness, and they decide to create a new immortal. And I just want to see Captain Jack back. Is that too much to ask for? I guess it is, since we have a shielder now. But I have to admit, Maisie Williams has been doing a great job. So Lady Me and the Doctor decide to work together to steal the Eye of Hades. How they break into where the couple live, they steal, they climb through the chimney to get out, and I like how Ashilda, because I'm just going to call her Ashilda, because I think Lady Me is stupid. Like, yes, you forget, but you can just come up with a new name, not Lady Me, because that's just stupid. So Ashilda tells the Doctor that those people that he travels with would just die, and Clara would die on him one day. I wonder if that's hinting at something. Probably nothing, because we all know Clara's going to stay with the Doctor for the rest of her life. Or is she? So yeah. So I really like how the Doctor should. I like the relationship between these two, because you have Ashilda trying to skip all the boring stuff and head to see like the future, to see the amazing things, to explore instead of taking the slow path. Like, she wants to take the path the Doctors take and go to all the exciting parts in history, not going to the slow path. Oh, by the way, I think this episode is misplaced, because I know this is the second part of a two-parter, but to me, I think they should have placed this around like after the Zygon two-parter, because from this episode, we're supposed to think the Doctor and Ashilda haven't seen each other for a while. Well, for Ashilda, it has been a while, but for us, we're supposed to think the Doctor hasn't seen Ashilda for a while. But we don't get that feeling, because this episode goes right after the episode The Girl Who Died, where Maisie Williams was in, and it just feels a bit out of place. Just wanted to get that out of the way. So they go back to Ashilda's place, where she gives the Doctor one last chance to take her with her, and he says no. And so Ashilda has other plans. We have this cat-like creature with an Italian name, which I can't remember. Yeah, so we're just going to call him Fire Cat Guy, because he breathes fire. Or let's just call him Al, because he has an Italian name anyway. So Al the cat that can breathe fire arrives, and he is shown to be working with Ashilda that this Eye of Hades is a gateway to his dimension, where he is the last of his kind that can open to anywhere in space and time, but needs a death. And Ashilda doesn't want the Doctor to die, so they decide to go to where a highwayman is about to be hanged that the Doctor and Ashilda met before, who's this comedic relief of the episode this year. So the Doctor's now tied up, and the guards are watching the Doctor now, and Ashilda and Al the cat, the fire-breathing cat, are now heading to the hanging. So the Doctor tells the guards that he knows where Ashilda has all her money, and they let him go. He steers a horse and goes straight after Ashilda and her cat partner. And there you kind of see like some of the this scene here is supposed to be funny, but I didn't really find it funny. I just find it boring, where the Doctor and the highwayman that's about to be hanged are telling jokes to each other, trying to delay the hanging, and the Doctor gives the executioner his psychic paper, which says that the highwayman has been cleared of all charges. And they decide, and so now the highwayman is now a free man, but Ashilda arrives and places the Eye of Hades on him, which is killing him, and a portal to the other dimension where has opened, and laser blasts start to hit the crowd. And this, like, throughout this episode, Ashilda is saying that she doesn't care about regular people, that they just die. And right at this moment, Ashilda realizes that she still cares, that she doesn't want to see anything bad happen to these people, and it's kind of being forced. Like all of a sudden, you have, oh my god, I care now. Like that's how it feels like. So yeah. So Ashura still has the second Maya chip, and they decide to use it on the Highwayman, and they reverse the energy to close the gateway to the other dimension, and Al the cat, the fire-breathing cat, is now killed by his own people because he has failed their plans. So then you have Ashura and the Doctor at this pub now, and he explains the reason why Ashura cannot travel with him, because if he travels with her, because people who have shorter lifespans than them, they see the importance of the small moments, those moments that people who are immortal don't think about because they have lived so many of those moments and they don't care anymore. But those moments, when they share with another person, it makes it feel special. And if they travel together, those moments they would never have. That they would never grow. They would just become these people who don't care about anything now. And there's also a reference to Captain Jack. I wonder if he's going to return. I say yes. Hopefully. Hopefully. Please. Steve Moffat, bring back Captain Jack Harkness. So, then you have, after the entire adventure is over, the Doctor is back to the TARDIS and heads to 21st century to pick up Clara. And it turns out the Doctor helped one of Clara's students with a project, and she wanted to have a photo for the Doctor to remember her. And in the background, we see Ashura in 21st century London. And yeah, that's how the episode ends. Like, how did Ashura know that Clara works at the school, or that to be there at that exact moment? Now that's ironic, am I right? So what did I think of this episode? Where I found this episode, it was good. I really enjoyed the scenes with Ashura and the Doctor, how the Doctor's telling Ashura that two immortals traveling together doesn't end good. That they have to have people, regular human beings, who see the important moments in these episodes. And we also have some foreshadowing towards Clara's death. And she is going to die. I just know it because there's no way she's going to leave the TARDIS. Because the only way for her to leave is to die. And it just feels a bit weird because this season is supposed to be Jenna Coleman's last season, and you have the Doctor and Clara being separated for some of the episodes, like Before the Flood, The Woman Who Lived, The Witch's Familia, and The Magician's Apprentice. You would think this is being their last season, they would spend the most time together as much as possible, but they don't. So yeah, I give this episode a 7 out of 10. Slight improvement over last week's episode, but not much. And I will be reviewing the Zygon Invasion next. Until next time, I'm the Dynamic Duover.